everybody. Welcome to World Wrestling Radio. Damn, that's loud. I'm your host, Extra, coming at you live with my man, the Yeti. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us. We did it again. Here we are. Another lovely show. It's exciting, man. I'm enjoying the Thursdays. I'm enjoying the liveness of it. It's a whole new world. Let me get this crap off so we can actually start the show.
It's fun, man. It's a different era. It's weird to see like people like fucking Adam McAfee and shit, you know, started podcasting, a punter from the NFL, hanging out in the WWE again. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's a weird world we live in.
I don't want to get into that. We'll talk about him later. I do actually want to kind of keep protocol and we'll kind of start with the past, the present, the future, and we'll start with Monday Night Raw. Talk about the Monday Night Raw that was. I thought it was actually a pretty decent show. I think the main head turner of the night had to be Raw Underground. I think a lot of people were like, what the hell is going on? What is this? You know, but what did you think of it? It's something new. It's something fresh. Shane introduced a new style, if you will, of wrestling. And
I'm not gonna let go of the competition between that was supposed to be Raw and SmackDown. I'm not gonna let go of what was supposed to be the competition between Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon, and now, like, what did that just die? Did we just are we supposed to have forgotten about that? Like, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Like, do they think maybe that's it? Like, we forget about it. So now Shane O'Mac again does whatever he wants to do and whatever.
Yeah, you got to move on, man. I mean, like, you can't just sit here and keep talking about storylines from back in the day.
I know, but you know, you got to resolve it, right? Like, it was supposed to be a competition, but nobody won. Like, how does that happen? Especially with McMahon's. I don't understand it. Anyway, dude, I think it's cool. I think it's like you said the other night. What if we end up seeing like a Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, like legitimately beating the crap out of each other?
Yeah, it's going to get, I mean, it's definitely a place for people like Adolph Ziggler, Chad Gable, Matt Riddle. Oh my God, he could really thrive in that. I mean, no, he's SmackDown, but those kind of people that are legitimate tough guys could actually do really well in this kind of atmosphere.
But do you think it?
But does it even worth it? Like, does it take away from their real character if they're down there beating the crap out of Jobber McJobs a lot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth it. It's another. I don't know. It's not worth it for me. I don't have enough time. I would rather watch other products. If this becomes something that's more consistent, or takes up more time than is already there, dude, I'll check out. I will. Like, I won't watch Raw anymore. I won't. I'll stick to SmackDown. I legitimately will until Cena lands on maybe Raw again. I don't know.
I feel like none of our stuff went live because no one's actually listening to us. That's interesting. Oh, well, the show must go on. So a new faction debuted Monday, kind of. They didn't really tell you who it was or what it does. Just a bunch of, I think there was 5 of them, and they caught fire on something and were raising havoc throughout the night, turning off electricity, playing that whole gimmick. The rumor is they could be called Justice, spelled that way. That name has been trademarked by WWE. There's a couple other names it could potentially be called, but what do you think about this new faction, and who is it, and who could it be that we actually would give a shit about? Because if it's 5 strangers that we've never heard of, no one's going to care.
Do you honestly? Who do I hope it is? I hope it's like Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, and the members of Undisputed Era. Like, I hope it's those 6. I think you need Daniel Bryan as like that journeyman to solidify it. Drew Gulak as the brain behind the mastermind behind whatever all of this is, and then those 4 faces would be perfect. But again, it's not going to happen because they're just going to run NXT. But that's wishful thinking.
That would be insane. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's my brain, man. That's my brain. I just sit here and I think about all this cool stuff. I think it actually just happened if they did it right. But no,
I have a lot of friends. I follow a lot of people on social media, and the rumor is, and I don't think it's in our news, but Ciampa and Gargano are involved in it. Are you interested now?
Yes.
With Candice LeRae?
Huh?
And Candice LeRae?
I'll buy in.
And I heard, I'm sure it's not true, but Ripley could be involved in to some extent of this.
Oh yeah, I'm buying in that. I would 100%. They could own some stuff.
But who knows where it actually goes? Oh, look, it's live. It worked. It popped back up out of nowhere. There's people. We didn't know if you were joining us for a sec. We were like, what the hell? Where's everyone at? Thanks. You should, now the comments are flowing in. I don't know what's going on. Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley, MVP. Shelton Benjamin. Eventually Apollo Crews. Who are we kidding? Have been kicking a lot of butt lately and taking a lot of names. And I think they came down to the Raw Underground and beat the crap out of everyone and really just kind of dominated this episode, if you will. What's next for the Hurt Business? Who wins what? Who comes out on top of this thing? And where does everyone go from here?
Dude, I've never really been a fan of MVP. I guess he does his job. What he needs to do for me is he's a heel. Like, he does what he's supposed to do. So I'm like, okay. It's like Dolph Ziggler. Like, I dislike Dolph Ziggler immensely. Not as a person or individual, just as a worker. I don't like him. I'm not a fan.
He can sell, though. You can give him that, right?
Dude, yeah, but come on. I mean, for real.
Who cares at the end of the day if you could sell?
Right?
That just means you can get your ass whipped gracefully.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know, dude.
You're not feeling the Hurt Business.
No, I mean, I love Apollo Crews. Like, if you can do the Hurt Business and continue to build Apollo Crews up as much as possible, yeah. Like the promo afterwards that he cut, it was gold, man. It was gold. Yeah. It was like, this belt's done. It's going to my kid's room. Now it's a kid's belt.
That was nice. I like that too.
That was pretty tight. I thought that was cool.
So you think he's bigger than the Hurt Business? You don't think he inevitably will beat someone's ass and join?
No, I think Apollo Crews is bigger than that. I think the WWE owes him that for what they have. The name change, for one, is ridiculous. Like, I never understood it. I mean, I get the shooting stuff. Like, I get the association, but then you bring it back. It just, I don't know, man. It rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm a huge fan of his. Really a huge fan, man.
Yeah, I can't argue that fact for sure. Valkyrie Fight Club, the Vikings, and the beer will own the Fight Club. Who's writing us from our own Facebook?
JP. I bet that's JP.
I'm like, wait a second. I'm like reading it. I'm like, who is that? Wait, that's World Wrestling Radio. That's us. For those of you that are in here, please join us, our Facebook page, World Wrestling Radio. And we have a new group now, the Wrestling Civilization. It's actually popping off pretty interesting. We've had, 50, 60 comments and with only a couple hundred people. So it's a very interactive group. So go to Facebook, join those groups.
Dude, Matt Kelly, like, did you read that comment?
Pop it back up.
I mean,
you're the comment guy. You're in charge of comments. I can't do it all, homie.
I got you, man. The Randy Orton promo. Like, are you talking like the promo Randy?
I have it right
Orton
here. Drew versus Orton, the shoot.
Dude, that was
McIntyre. Tell me what do you got about it? What do you think? Let's just go straight into it.
I'm on board, man.
It obviously is not a shoot, but he got to say some stuff that kind of totes the line, like literally cleaning up your crap. And you're a prick.
Can you say it wasn't a shoot? Can you? I mean, can you literally say it wasn't? I mean, we don't know for sure, right? It was this.
I think in this day and age, nothing's a shoot. It's I'm going to be honest. McAfee and Cole got me. I thought that he was pissed off, and the shit was a 100% work. And this is the same thing. They had a conversation about this prior to the show. I'm never going to believe a shoot until there's blood, and then even then you can't believe it.
Yeah. It's the truth, man. It really is. It's I don't know, man. It's fun. I guess it's fun again for me. There's a lot of people that are hating this, but I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. I just think he's done his own thing, gone his own way, and I think that's what Drew's calling him out on, is that he's, I guess, not necessarily been spoon fed, but been helped along. a lot by the people in the industry because of who he is. But again, Drew McIntyre, he took accountability for getting his ass fired, and
Yeah.
I mean, he laid it out there. I don't know, Randy is Randy, man. He's matured a lot. I think he's a family guy. I think he loves his wife and kids immensely, and I just think it's more. He sees time as an asset, as a value, as a minute wasted as a minute that he could have spent someplace else doing something more important. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean, I think The Rock, I think Batista, I think Triple H, I think a lot of those guys are that same way. And Randy just gets a bad rap for it because he don't give a shit. He's not kissing anybody's ass.
I mean, The Rock, yeah, sure. The Rock will put over Brock Lesnar on his way out, but he's on his way out to Hollywood. When The Rock was grinding, he wasn't putting anyone over except him and Austin putting each other over. I mean, like, when it's tight, no one's putting no one over at the end of the day, because you put them over, they become a star, and the next thing you know, you're unemployed. You're over at AEW doing the woo thinking you got it. I mean, you can't put people over. You got to go for the gusto. He's a perfect example of just letting people walk over you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is Pat McAfee an NXT superstar now? I can't stand this shit. Like, everyone is. I'm just gonna go. I mean, I have it down the line. Let me just pull it up. But like, seriously, this shit pisses me off. I'm not interested in seeing Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. I'm sorry. I know he was a kicker and he did the boom, and I don't care. What's he gonna? He's inevitably gonna get a sledgehammer from Triple H, and this is bigger than McAfee. It's a stepping stone for Triple H versus Cole down the road, which it makes Cole bigger than life, in my opinion. Where are you going with this crap?
You think Trips and him are going to go?
It has to be. Triple H was so involved last night. He doesn't get involved like that. Pat McAfee is not a big enough star for him to be involved at that angle, in my opinion. And maybe people think I'm crazy and they think he is a huge star and this is awesome. But for me, I'm not buying into this crap. That made Adam Cole look like a joke after holding the title for the longest time in NXT champion. Now he's fighting a jobber, essentially. McAfee hasn't done his job. You have to pay your dues. I don't care what you say. This boils right down to what we were talking about a second ago. Dominic and SummerSlam at Seth Rollins. I hope Seth Rollins beats the living crap out of this little turd.
You want him to get the shit beat out of him?
Yeah, man. He's going to come in here his first match against Seth frickin' Rollins, and he's going to get more offense in than, half the people in NXT have gotten all year long. He's going to get.
I agree.
He's going to get a 619 in. He's going to get a top rope frog splash in. He's going to get his little punches in that he does where he looks like Shane McMahon. I don't know. What do you think, audience? Am I crazy or is this good shit?
Nah, it's lame, dude. It is. I'm not even. I don't know how this works. I don't know where I guess my problem with a lot of this is where do you come in? I mean, you have storylines that work, obviously, on each one of these nights, and storylines that just are horrible. And you don't know that it's bad, or you don't know it's going to work if you don't put it out there. But this whole Seth and Dominic and the eye for an eye, like the whole eye thing, it was dumb. It was dumb, like dumb for me, especially when they did the interview. And Ray was at his house, and the lighting was there, and you could see his eye through the mask, and literally you could I was just like, "Come on, guys! Like, this is elemental, basic stuff that you got to be able to."
Man, he's gonna have to rock that eye patch for like the next 5 to 10 years because fans are fickle. They're gonna hold that against him.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Like, Tim Hardy, love the Pat Cole feud. It's different.
I know I'm in the wrong here. I'm in the wrong for both. I know the majority of the people want to see Dominic get his retribution for his dad. And I know a majority of the people are really enjoying Pat McAfee. It's just not for me. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. I'm happy you guys are enjoying a storyline because let's be honest, Twitter and all the social media wrestling overall is pretty negative. Let's be honest. There's not a lot of positivity going on. So it's good to see someone like Tim Hardy saying this is a good thing. And I'm sorry for complaining. I'm not trying to be that guy.
What does Pat McAfee know about somebody? Why is he getting airtime? What does Pat McAfee got on somebody?
I don't get it. It doesn't work for me. The whole storyline just doesn't settle well for me. I'm just not buying into it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you. I don't get it either.
I mean, maybe it's good shit for someone, but maybe it's not. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just not. It's just not. It's too much too soon for that. Why did he not come up the right way? Why is he not doing his thing? Why is he not? You know what I mean? Why is he not going to go to NXT and be the beloved son of Rey Mysterio and get his chance to really shine? It's just none of this makes sense to me. And we'll just leave it at that. What's the number? 2 shows in 3 days. Do the work. You want to call in? No, not right now.
Right.
Maybe later.
Dude.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little NXT AEW Wednesday Night Wars. AEW decisively kicked the arse of NXT, no doubt about it. However, last week NXT had 705,000. This week they have 753. I believe AEW had 800 and something, 850, 860, and now they're not. Correct me if you're wrong in the comments, but now they're at 901. The question is the obvious question: who's going to hit 1 million? Will they hit 1 million? And I think the score is like 35-3 or 35-4 for week to week head. Does NXT ever win this war?
No, it doesn't. And the reason why is because of production and interaction. And you're bringing in fresh new faces every week with a championship that's being defended weekly. You don't get that on NXT. You don't get.
I hate the belt, but I'm enjoying the weekly thing.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, and the people. I mean, but it's just John Cena's storyline from a while back, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's essentially the John Cena challenge where Kevin Owens came up and a bunch of people that wouldn't get chances got chances.
Absolutely. You know,
everything's recycled though. I'm sure the John Cena Open Challenge came from the Rick the Model Martel Open Challenge. But you know what I mean? It just all started over. Rock put over Angle, Triple H, Jericho, Foley, but they all put each other over in their own little circle of fun. They weren't putting over Lord William Regal. They weren't putting over the Bushwhackers, were they? I don't know if the Bushwhackers were even around when The Rock was around, but you know what I mean. Yeah, once The Rock became elite, I mean, it was him and Hulk Hogan. Him and he was fighting the world.
Tim Hardy, what do you disagree about?
What do you
guys disagree about things? You gotta tell it because we don't know. I don't know where this is it.
Yeah, I can't read your mind, man. So interesting last night. I know you're a Cassidy fan, we're correct?
All day long.
And I noticed he was actually voted in the top 3 or 4 for popular social media influencers as far as wrestlers go. So he surprised me last night with this debate. I think getting the chance for him to shine against Jericho. I think Jericho handpicked him. He said, I want to go against Orange. I want to put Orange over. I want to see what this kid's got. We know in the ring he's unique with his stuff, but if he can start cutting promos, I don't know if he's going to be the Sheldon like Big Bang Theory where look, Vince is joining. I don't know if he's going to be the Big Bang Theory.
Jesus Christ. This is Cabby Confessions with Vince.
You're live. What's up?
How can I help you, my son? What are you going to confess?
Oh my God, dude!
This is special appearance. What are you doing? Nice of you to join us.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I totally slipped my. I was driving back from Ocala and I totally slipped. I had no service out there.
Driving back from Ocala. We know what you're doing out there, cowboy.
What am I doing?
Probably hanging out with someone cool.
Dancing for dollar bills. I just doing good. Dancing for dollar bills.
What have we already talked about so I can get on the action?
The biggest we just talked about, like Nico just asked Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. Like, so this is always going to be my answer when we have Orange Cassidy conversations because I know exactly who he is. I know exactly where he came from. I know exactly where he trained. I know exactly how he can go. And the people that only know him from AEW are in for a fucking treat, dude. Like, he legitimately is probably one of the top talents to ever come out of the place that he was trained. Absolutely 100%.
I don't have a problem with Orange Cassidy. I don't know his work. And it's like, I'm still trying to get used to Orange Cassidy.
Which part? Like the funny, haha? Like you don't get the
in-ring shit or the thumbs up? What, the whole character?
Like the whole character. Like, I think it's cool that like he plays this like I don't give a crap character where it's like I'm gonna like put my hands in my pocket and still kick your ass. Like that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like he's already broke kayfabe. Like, okay, like if you're gonna play a character where you're silent, you're just gonna give a thumbs up or just a hand, like a head shake. You can't go into some interviews and talk. Like it doesn't work that way. And he's done that a couple times where it's like, you know, he tried not to answer a question and then all of a sudden he comes out and answers it. Like if you're gonna do it one way, do it that way. Like don't go back and forth because that drives me nuts.
Well, he cut a hell of a promo yesterday. The truth is, him and Jericho had a debate. You saw, I'm sure, AEW, and he went with the global warming this day and age with the incubators and hit us with some knowledge. But does he go beyond that? Is this his character, the smart guy who says smart shit and then gives you the thumbs up and kicks you softly before he evades your punch and then wins somehow with a roll up? You know what I mean? Like a lazy roll up. Like, is this where we're going?
I think Orange Cassidy is no more than like if we're talking about like WWE levels, because AEW only has like 2 belts, but if we're comparing him to WWE, I think he's no more than like an Intercontinental or maybe a US. He's not. Okay, he's not heavyweight material.
He's absolutely going to be a heavyweight champion at AEW.
I think
over with a capital O.
I think the people that hold the Intercontinental belt are way more important than the people that hold the championship belts. I
do. I believe so. Because I feel like the Intercontinental is so prestige. It's so, you know what I mean? Like Pat Patterson was your first Intercontinental champion. I mean, how much prestige can you get?
I think his volume sounds like shit, right? Am I correct?
Are you on a flip phone?
You sound like shit, dude.
Are you on a flip phone?
You're like...
Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Is your beard rubbing against your speaker?
Oh, God. You know we're live, right? We're fucking live. I'll fix you. All right. We'll get him back here. We know you're just dying to talk to Vincent.
Yeah, hey, let's throw this up here because I think this is the second time it's come up here. Let's talk. Like, there you go.
All right, fix it.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Now, we're reading you can't even see the article. It says, guys, what do you think about the Fiend attacking Alexa Bliss? Will she become Sister Abigail?
Yes. Yeah,
I think she'll come to the dark side.
Has to.
So you weren't here earlier, but I did want to get your thoughts on Cole versus McAfee. You didn't hear anything I said. You didn't hear anything Josh said. I want to hear what you think.
So I just watched, when I was in the car driving back with Dylan, I was watching McAfee's promo that he cut.
This is the most unsafe show in the world.
I know. People are watching just to see if you're going to die.
Shut up, you.
So intriguing.
So I watched McAfee's promo.
Like we're just going to hear fucking glass flying.
Oh, God.
I watched his promo in the car, and I had to say, I don't see how this is going to happen. Like, I'm not a huge fan of McAfee. Like, I don't like when they bring fucking football players in. And, like, it's like, McAfee is he's a commentator. You know what I mean? It's like I want to know why they came up with this storyline. Like, was it that bad of Adam Cole that you had to give him a crappy storyline with like McAfee? Like what's the deal? I mean,
I think that's how they quickly shift attention from a champion to somebody else. Like they just
my thought process. You didn't hear what I said, but I think Triple H is involved in this, and I think a sledgehammer is going to get slipped, and it's going to eventually be Trips versus Cole. There's a bigger storyline here. McAfee's just kind of like the appetizer.
Well, you think Triple H is going to come out and face Adam Cole?
Yeah, I think a sledgehammer's coming. I think it's going to be big. Why was he so involved last night? And then he's like, you crossed the line. And then think about it. He also went in on the McAfee broadcast and was talking about him and Adam Cole. He's all involved in it for a reason. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But the Nico's usually not wrong.
I got to tell you this, though. The promo that he cut, it's like if you're going to tell a guy when he's on his honeymoon or whatever that he has to cut a promo sitting in a lawn chair, like after... Like,
that dude was straight in Key Largo. I could tell he was at like the Marriott in the Keys.
Yeah, like how can you cut a promo he should have had like a little drink with an umbrella in there too, like sipping on it, telling him, "Listen, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna take you on."
In the meantime, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my margarita.
Yeah,
I did like the one thing I did like was that the punt kick. Like he did like a kick, like he's kicking a punt. That shit was funny. He like got full leg into it.
So dumb.
So dumb.
So dumb.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's go back to AEW. Last night, the 12-man tag team took place. Elite and FTR versus the Dark Order. You both saw it, right? Apparently, this is the beginning of the end of not only the Elite, but also Hangman and Omega. This is just building up and brewing all along. But the storyline itself showed a lot of flaws in all of their things, including one of the FTR guys getting hurt and the Young Bucks going to the back. They included Hangman leaving Omega again, and Omega getting his ass beat in the middle of the ring. Maybe a Dark Order turn. Who knows? But what's going on with the whole Elite and FTR versus the Dark Order? And what is up with the Dark Order? Are they worth it? What's going on? Like, I just don't get them. I don't get Evil Uno, especially. Brody's, whatever. But tell me both those. What do you think of Elite and FTR? What do you think Dark Order? What do you think of the match?
Can I be 100% honest? When this match came on, I went to make dinner. 100%.
It's going to be Spot Fest 2020.
Well, I just did. There's matches where I go, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna. I pass on them. Like I literally, and if I miss something or if I hear, if my phone pops, while it's going, then I know something happened. Like I should probably pay attention to it. But otherwise, I know the Elite. I'm a Bucks fan because of the way that they have been able to sell themselves and sell the product. But as far as their in-ring stuff, it's just the super kicks is way too much. The Spot Fest way too much. Yeah, and the Dark Order is whatever. It's just you got to find a place for these guys, and that's where you're at. So I went to make dinner.
What do you think of it, Vinny?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been seeing this build up come for weeks now. And even, I can tell you this, even when AEW first started, you could tell there was tension within the Elite with like Kenny Omega and the Bucks. Like you can just tell. But I did not see the match. However, I have been watching almost every week, and I can just tell you by what I've read from reviews, I think that yes, you're going to have the Elite's going to be broken up, which I think it's not a bad thing, because how long can you actually keep it going? You know what I mean? Like how long
can all the vice presidents be best friends and be a group that dominates? It's a little ridiculous. Yeah. I agree.
So I mean, and then it's like I would love to see the Young Bucks go against each other. Like I like to see like them split off and like
they're not talented enough to be individual superstars.
No, you don't think so?
I said that out loud, Nick and Matt, you bums. They got me blocked. It doesn't matter. They're not watching my show anyways. Both them dorks got me blocked.
Blocked from what?
You know who has me blocked that really pissed me off today?
Who?
Bubba Ray Dudley got me blocked. I know he got me blocked because I've been calling him a fat loser for a long time. But Dave LaWhat's-his-face from
Dave LaGreca?
Dave LaGreca I never even mentioned this dude's name. I just went to his shit. I was blocked. So I'm like, the whole show's got me blocked. It's hilarious.
Wait, what do you mean blocked?
And both the Young Bucks.
What'd you do?
What'd you say? What did you do?
I don't even know who he is. I saw Busted Open Radio and I saw his tag and I went and I was like, oh, I can't see what it is. And I clicked and it said you're blocked. I'm like, fuck this guy. So anyway, let's move on. I thought that was fun.
So they blocked you for no
So
reason.
the inevitable big NXT match that's going to happen is Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. The TikTok, he beat the crap out of Dijakovic. Oh, another thing I don't want to bring up. Dijakovic's rumored to be in Justice as well with Gargano and Ciampa. And you weren't here earlier, Vinny, but they're saying the Raw faction could be Gargano, Ciampa, LeRae, and Dijakovic.
That's horrible.
We'll see.
That's horrible. I don't want to hear that, because if that's the case, NXT is doomed.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah, well, NXT's doomed anyways. Just looking in the crowd, you got, if Bugenhagen doesn't get the push of a lifetime, who over there is going to be the difference? I mean, it's not going to be Kona Reeves. No offense, if you're listening, Kona Reeves.
I really do think they're dropping the ball on Eric or Bugenhagen. Like, he might not be a star, but it's like I feel like he could win over a crowd.
Witnessing Bugenhagen's entrance. Dude, it's like witnessing the Undertaker's entrance. That shit is over. Like, you wouldn't believe at NXT, like, capacity-wise. Yeah. The crowd at NXT is so over this dude. He comes in, does his shit, loses, does his shit again. They call him back out to do his shit one more time. They'll be like, by popular demand, get Bugenhagen. And he's like, da-na-na-na. And the crowd's like rocking out. None of it's on TV ever. Ever.
It's great. It's great.
He's over. And people are, I swear to God, dude, at breaks in between commercials, people are going Bugenhagen.
Really?
You never hear it. You never hear it. They will not put him over. It's ridiculous.
Just hold him. The collector holds him.
That's NXT. That's
WWE.
Were
you there? Were you there that night? We went to the ale house, me, Chris, Jay. I think you were there. And Bugenhagen was inside the ale house doing some kind of guitar solo to, like, the bartender at the bar.
I was there when someone said, Bugenhagen, are you wrestling tonight? And he laughed. He was like, nah, man. It's an NXT taping. Like, don't be ridiculous. I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I'm telling you right now, Bugenhagen, like Raw Underground, a place for him. He shows up and beats the crap out of someone. All of a sudden, Bugenhagen's, I mean, that's what the good thing about a Raw Underground is.
What did you think about that? What did you guys think about that?
Well, we talked about it 20 minutes ago when you were riding from Ocala with your homies. But honestly, I thought it was interesting, and I'm interested to see what next week happens. I thought the Hurt Business at the end kind of took away from it because obviously Bobby Lashley and they're going to come in and beat some ass. But overall, I thought it was interesting. What do you think?
I thought it was garbage.
Yeah, I figured you would.
To bring Shane McMahon back for some stupid role like this, it's like, really? You're going to bring, I mean, really? What
do you think it was a good idea at all? Can you turn your phone sideways so you can be turn your phone sideways so you're like the full screen? Yeah, there you go. Cool.
There we can see your full face.
Look at that beard, dude. We're Beard Nation. I like it. Shit's on point. All right, let's talk about who cares about any of this shit, right? No one cares. Is there any good comments over there? I'm not even paying attention to the comments. I'm sorry.
One big thing, I don't know if you've got that. I don't know if you're talking about that later or not. The Matt Hardy incident. We're going to go over that later.
I don't have it talked about, so let's just talk about it now. So Matt Hardy last night fought Sammy Guevara. What?
Facebook user. Ass.
Yeah, I think Facebook user. For anyone that's Facebook user, you just have to allow StreamYard to use your pass, and it'll show your face there. It's very simple. You go to like facebook.com/StreamYard.
Yeah. So
so Matt Hardy fought Sammy Guevara last night. They had a little altercation outside. Sammy picked up a chair, threw it at his head about 150 miles an hour, busted him straight open. Don't know the number of stitches, but I know that Matt Hardy had a look in his face, 12 stitches.
10 to 12. 10 to 12 ever.
I'm too old for this shit. That's what I saw in his face. And then his lovely wife, Rebby, who, as expected, wrote, fucking idiot on Twitter afterwards. I don't know if that was the quote, but he basically wrote like moron about Guevara, as in Rebby's fashion would do. So what did you think about Matt Hardy? I think it's really unfortunate for him because he just hasn't been able to find his character. I think the broken gimmick might have went over in the crowd, but I think it would have fizzled fast only because there's so much talent in AEW at this point. I mean, honestly, who wants to see the broken gimmick when MJF can come out or Hangman Page or Omega? Like, he's past his prime at this point. It's just not going to work. So he's frustrated.
Dude, nice segue because that's the whole Moxley at MJF. Like, I want MJF to win any and every match. Like, he's
like undefeated.
I know he won't. I mean,
right? He's never lost.
He's
9-0.
It's gonna be tough, man. He's the shit. Like, he is what it costs like $500. You can get a cameo from him for $500. MJF, just $500 you can have a cameo.
What is wrong with these people paying this kind of money to have a guy tell you happy birthday or something for 20?
It's like $20. It's like $20 to chat with him. He'd say, "Hey," you'd say, "Hi, I'm Jeff." He'd say, "Go fuck off," and that's your.
The funny thing is, he put it at that number because he wanted to be a dick. He's like, yeah, if some idiot will pay $500, I'll do it. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think Matt Hardy's past his prime.
He's 47.
Huh?
He's 47. He's not Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho doesn't wrestle that often, if you really know. He just comes out and cuts promos. And Matt Hardy's trying to go week in, week out and hang with the Young Bucks, and it's just not going to work for him.
I honestly think he should have retired. I think he should have retired in WWE. Like I don't understand why he moved up to AEW. Like
he's thriving for this one last title run, and it's just not going to happen. He never peaked. Jeff, now on the other hand, we're going to talk about him later, but I think his time is actually ripe for the picketing. Big E, what do I think about Big E getting a title run? Does he have to go to Raw for him to face the WWE champion? I think Big E's. Oh God, don't do that while we're driving. Everyone's tuned in to see if you'll make it home. Big E's title run.
Get out of here.
Next time you guys go to Ocala, make sure to invite me so I can bring my friend with me.
First of all, how do you know we went to Ocala?
You just said you're driving back from Ocala and you have Dylan in your car. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, I know people out there in Ocala, and Dylan does too.
You know your role and shut your mouth.
All right, I'm a jabroni.
Your mouth. Know your role and shut your mouth. You definitely want to write this down in big, bold letters. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Okay, sorry. So I think Big E is a huge superstar. I've always thought he's one of the most talented people in professional wrestling, not only in the WWE. On a physical level, he can bench a house, literally 500 plus pounds. On a personality level, he's over the top and amazing. And joining the New Day showed a new side of character to him that has basically brought joy and smiles to millions of people, let's be honest. And at this point, it's his time to see what he's got. And I think sky is the limit for Big E. That's
he's the mouthpiece. That's kind of, when they're coming out, that's him on the microphone.
Orlando. That's Big E.
Yeah.
Don't be sour. He's a mouthpiece. And he can go in the ring. He can do a split.
Dude, when he was hanging out, I don't know if you watched it or not, but he hangs out when he gets announced first and he's waiting for the other individual to come out. He will literally put his feet up on the middle ropes and stretch out like that. I'm like, he just bounces. I'm like, oh my God, man.
Can I just say, I think Big E's push would be a lot better if they let him go back to his character that he had in NXT, where it was just him as this big buff dude.
Was he Big E Langston in NXT? Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying bring his name back, but I'm just saying though, like, how can you continue with the New Day character if all
right? Well, here's what he does. He comes out with Kofi, and they hold their hands up, and he points at Kofi, and then he gives him the clothesline and the power bomb through a table, and Kofi leaves for a year because he's Kofi and needs a break. He's been wrestling for 15 years straight, and Big E has his moment. It's a heel turn inevitably. There's no way he can go over as a friendly, fun guy because nice guys finish last in professional wrestling. You've got to get that turn eventually.
Yeah.
Makes no sense for him to come in and throw pancakes and win the belt.
Unless you have to have the John Cena exception in there, though.
I mean, John Cena's 1 in a billion.
Well, you got to throw it out there.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that John Cena wasn't supposed to be John Cena. If Halloween doesn't happen and he doesn't get, that was his last shot. If you've seen his documentary, I mean, he's like, this is it. I gave the Vanilla Ice thing a try, and if that wasn't going to work, I was done. And we'd be seeing John Cena in AEW right now or Impact Wrestling, and this would be a whole different world we're living in.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I would love to see? Charmaine has a good question. Who is facing Bayley at SummerSlam? This is what I would love to see at SummerSlam. I would love to see at SummerSlam, like, some big bitch like fucking Shayna Baszler come up and be like, listen, I'll take on both you bimbos for all your gold. And then she beats them both. That's what I would love to see.
I like it. All the gold.
Yeah.
So Shayna punched Sasha Banks in the face. So, I mean, she's somewhere in the mix. No doubt about it. Shayna, let's be honest. Here's another thing. Shayna's almost, if she could even be 40 years old. So her time is now, honestly. She doesn't have 5 to 10 years like Bailey and Banks. I don't know how old either one of them are. I think Banks is like 30.
What if she brought Rousey back? Like just in the corner.
Rousey, where is Rousey? I miss Ronda.
She's having
Rousey.
a baby.
Did she have a baby? Is she pregnant? I know that was the rumor.
I don't know if she had it or not, but I heard that when she has it, she's going to take another year off, is what she said.
Nice. All right, let's switch gears. Let's go to SmackDown tomorrow night. That's the new forte of the show for those of you. We're going to do the past, the present, the future. So we'll start out with Raw, go to NXT, AEW, and then go towards SmackDown, and then close with news. So the first one of the night would be the bro, Matt Riddle, is going to put his skills to the test against Sheamus tomorrow night. We already know on a physical level that this is going to be a goodie. But where does this go for who benefits mostly from this match taking place?
Nobody. Well, Riddle.
It's
just another notch in his belt. I mean, really, that's all it is. Sheamus is a good guy again, but where does he belong on the roster? He doesn't belong on the roster for me. He's had to go through another the leather hat and the whole leprechaun look. No, I don't get it. I don't. It's like whatever.
Again, now he's the barroom guy with the suspenders.
Yeah. I think some of these guys, if they would move him out of the ring and just make him PR, I think it'd be better off. He's a great person, but in ring, it's blah for me. So
there was especially
after Riddle just got done going toe to toe with like the phenomenal one.
Styles, right? Yeah.
And then you go to Sheamus, it's like, well,
like obviously you're going to beat Sheamus. Well, here's what I think. I think Riddle's going to put the beating on him, and I think Sheamus will disqualify himself. He'll hit him with something, something bullshit will take place. It won't be a clean victory, or someone either. I don't know who Sheamus is having. He was having beef with Hardy, but I'm not sure he's having beef with now. So who knows?
Sheamus I was talking to Matt yesterday, and I said, Matt, I know you're going to face Sheamus at SummerSlam. And he's like, I don't know, bro. And I'm like, listen, bro, I can bet you money, bro, that you're going to, he's like,
bro.
Yeah. So he's not telling me.
I don't think so, bro.
He's not telling me, but I'm like, bro, listen, you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
I think the bro is going to elevate straight to the top, and we're not just groupie jobbers over here. I believe in the character. I've been believing in the character. I think Sheamus is a great opportunity for him to show that he's tough. People still don't believe how tough he is. It's crazy. They don't understand that this guy will legitimately whip your ass because he was in the UFC.
I think we need to switch gears here for a second.
What do you mean?
We have a serious question, but I don't know which one the view is for. It's not for me, but this is for one of you two.
What?
Can one day I come live with you?
Can that happen, Benny? Can you
Definitely
make that
not
happen?
For me. It'd be for Vince.
Vince, can that happen one day?
I don't see why not.
I'm sorry. I'm married. I'm not going to be able to have anyone live with me, but Vince is single. So
Yeah. We can party.
Yeah, we can party.
Vinny Laspada on Facebook. Go reach him. Vincent Laspada on Twitter. He just got shouted out by the bro earlier. You can.
So listen, can I?
He gives away sweaty used raw shirts.
Did anyone take that sweaty ass shirt?
Can I say one thing to you? And I'm not trying to rub it in anybody's face, but the other night I went to the bar and
we clarified. She just wants to go live, not come.
We know
live.
you want to go live with us.
Oh, yes, go live? Yeah.
We know you're not living with us. Yes, you can go live 1 week.
Yeah. We can do that.
We're just
kidding.
I thought
go
I was
ahead. Tell us
the
story, dickhead. We know. I already know the story. Tell everyone.
What story do you know?
You were just saying you were at the ale house. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Well, I was at the ale house, and so happened to be was Damian Priest and Kata Carter were sitting there when me and Matt Riddle and Dylan walked in.
You guys are like superstars. Dylan. I was Dylan in the car, and I love Dylan. Is he right next to you?
I gotta tell you what. Damian Priest is such a chill dude.
He's got that voice too. He's probably like, "Hey, how are you?" He's got that real deep voice.
He started talking to baseball to me, and I was like, and I'm like, I like the Phillies. He goes, well, the Phillies just got their ass kicked. I'm like, because I don't really watch baseball. Like, maybe I should just start watching baseball just for the shits of it.
Here's the thing: if Dylan says it's Riddle versus Corbin at SummerSlam, it's Riddle versus Corbin at SummerSlam. So thanks.
He didn't say that. No, don't get me in trouble.
It's right here on the notes, dude. He just commented it. It's live.
Oh, Dylan did. Okay.
Yeah. We're not trying to do any stories here, bro. We're just kidding with you. All right, so let's continue on with SmackDown. So Jeff Hardy has moved on currently from Sheamus to King Corbin. And tomorrow night, he's going to be looking to whip King Corbin's ass. Is Jeff Hardy on the ascension all the way to the top, or is this just a charity thing for him, and he's going to plateau and do a Jeff Hardy again? Or who wins here in this one again? This is another one because Corbin is Corbin. He's been really high on the list for a long time, but I mean, Hardy just beat Sheamus in the damn bar, overcame his demons, and sky's the limit, right?
I think Corbin needs this win over Hardy to keep his record going into SummerSlam. I think if you make him lose to Jeff Hardy, it's just not going to make sense. Like, you're trying to build King Corbin for this rancid over Matt Riddle's head. You got to keep the winning going. And then, who else is Baron Corbin going to get to try to get a bounty over Matt Riddle's head? You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Can Jeff Hardy stop the match?
Shorty G, man.
Shorty G is going to interfere in this match for sure. Shorty G is his right, and believe it or not, he's actually pretty effective. I'll tell you right now, that back suplex or whatever, what is that called? Belly to back suplex to Riddle. That was beautiful, dude.
Dude, Chad Gable's he's no joke, man. He's no joke.
Yeah, what do you think about Hardy, Corbin?
Here's backstory. Like that, Baron Corbin shirt, right? I wasn't really a huge fan of him in NXT. I wasn't. Like, I didn't buy into the whole long hair, half bald. I didn't buy into it until he finally shaved his head. And then, when he won the King of the Ring, I actually tweeted, I was like, dude, if Baron Corbin wins King of the Ring, I'm buying a t-shirt. And he fucking won. So I ended up buying one of his t-shirts that night. But I also got my Drew Gulak WWE action figure that night. So that was pretty cool. But I'm
King Corbin has exceeded his expectations.
Dude, King Corbin's good. Like, I'm a big fan of King. He's a heel. Like, he's a good heel.
The top heel in professional wrestling with MJF. I mean, I think those are the two names that are getting called as top heels.
Yeah, because you either like MJF for what he is or you hate him. And I like MJF for what he is, and I like Baron Corbin for what he is. They're both just shit dudes, and they live it. I think they live it no matter where they're at or what they're doing. I think they just continue to live it, even when they're out in public. It's Baron Corbin. Yeah, what do you want? I'm the king. Bow down, peasant. I'm sure they play that. I'm sure that's.
And does he run the king gimmick all forever, or till the next King of the Ring, and then someone how does the king of the gimmick work? I don't really remember how. Do you give the crown to the next person?
Well, same like King Booker. I mean, King Booker was the same man. He kept the crown. That's
forever. They won't do King of the Ring till they need a new King of the Ring. They won't do it every year, right?
Yeah, but here's the problem with the King of the Ring is they don't ever. They're not. Here's the problem with King of the Ring. They're not doing it every year. So to me,
right,
it doesn't make sense if you're not going to do it every year. It's like that's the one pay-per-view that I think they've ruined because they brought all these other stupid pay-per-views in. Like they're starting to pull stuff out like Bash at the Beach or all these other dumb crap.
I think we have to though. I think we have to adjust our view on all of this. I think we have to adjust. I think we have to stop comparing what wrestling was to what it is now. I think we have to get real about this is what it is. It's just, I don't think it's going to get any better as far as expectations when it comes to a live event or having that chemistry. I think we just have to, it has to be a good storyline and it has to be real. Like Drew and Randy Orton. I mean, it's got to be McIntyre and Randy Orton type stuff. It's got to be the real, the hate, the blood. I don't want it. That's just me, though. That's how I feel.
So I'm loving the Corbin style. I hope he continues to be king for the immediate future, at least. I mean, where else can he go at this point? The king is working for him, and he's even kind of like the Game of Thrones king. He like threw away the other shitty one. I'm feeling it. So Bray Wyatt heading back to the Firefly Funhouse tomorrow. He's going to be, hey guys, Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt. After the Fiend attacked Alexa Bliss last week and showed her the light, or did he show her the light? Did he attack her to get to Braun? Or is she now making the conversion to becoming demented?
I think it's. Go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say. I just think it's a mind game. I just think that Wyatt's playing with Braun's head, just so he can have something over him.
You attacked Alexa, brother. You attacked. You did this. You did that.
Yeah, it's like dangling a piece of steak over a lion.
I think you have to legitimately play this both physically. Like, I think you have to put Alexa Bliss in something like her gear has to be completely white, and I want her to wear like white contacts, and I want her to be like, she's got to be under a trance. She's got to be under something. It has to be physical for it to work for me, because if it's not, I mean, it's Alexa Bliss. I mean, whatever. Like, I've seen her come back from way worse than that. I mean, I understand it's a Fiend, but if you're going to go that route, then, I mean, you got to sell it. Make it white, make it pristine, make it untouchable. So when it finally does happen, it's twice as good.
And we've been talking about this for months. Is Bray bigger? Is this the inevitable? The Fiend wins the world title or the Universal title, or is Bray bigger than the belt? Doesn't even need it at this point.
I hope he doesn't win the belt back. I think Bray doesn't need a belt. I think what's going on with him now and all these storylines he has, I think he's larger than life.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. But I think what'll happen is, I think Bray is bigger than the belt. I think the Fiend's going to take the belt, and he's going to also keep Alexa Bliss's sister Abigail for a while, and keep the whole. I think there's going to be a good chase. I think there's going to be some cool stuff with hopefully Bray Wyatt specifically, because it's his time. For me, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
But her hand she has the Rona now. He did definitely not social distance himself. And the Fiend doesn't shower every day and use sanitizer.
How cool was it though? He put up the hurt glove, right? He literally put up the hurt glove, and then he came down in front of the face and just sat there with the claw. It
was pretty good shit, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who's in charge of that, but I enjoyed it. Before we go to the news, let's answer one of the questions in the comments. What's next for AJ Styles? AJ Styles has solidified himself as the Intercontinental Champion, gatekeeper for the people that want to be moving themselves up the ladder. And to get there, you have to beat AJ Styles. So what's next for AJ Styles? Everyone's going to get the chance to fight AJ Styles, because he is now the bar at SmackDown. But here's another thing, and I do want to preempt that into what we're going to talk about in the news. Mr. Meltzer's reporting that the plan is to have the draft in October.
Oh God, please.
So if the draft's in October, and who does AJ hate? Was it Heyman or Pritchard? He hated someone on the writing raw staff that's no longer there. So
listen,
I mean, seriously, then why have this whole? It's irrelevant, man, because you have the champion. He can go on any show.
That's true.
It's dumb. Fuck Meltzer. It's dumb.
Well, that's the problem with the draft is
I think they will have the draft, though. He is dumb, but I think they will be doing the draft.
But the draft is 1 year on, 1 year off, 1 year on, 1 year off. And it's like, what does it matter if, like you said, they're going back and forth? I mean, like Becky and Sasha, they're going to all the brands. So it's like, why not just leave it that way?
I'll tell you this. I'll honestly tell you guys like this. I do not dislike any storyline that is on television right now. That is because I don't read dirt sheets. The one I am not a fan of is really the Seth Rollins stuff right now.
I'm sorry to hear that, Yeti. I really am sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's horrible.
I'm very.
Dirt sheets that he doesn't like the Seth Rollins gimmick.
No, I'm very. I'm very sorry that you think that WWE right now has good storylines.
So,
Telling you.
Because the
Christian?
storylines,
Sure.
the storylines right now
So-
with Corona going on suck.
So
What's next in the news?
this is going to be something you're very happy about. I'm actually going to let you speak on this.
Sportskeeda says WWE has signed Anthony Green to an NXT contract, and more Evolved talent could be on the way in the near future.
For those of you who don't know, Yeti's favorite wrestler on planet Earth is Anthony Green. So tell us about it. And what do you think he's going to do in Impact? Because or in NXT, I'm sorry, I don't know him that well. I do know he was the 15-year-old kid in our chat room 20 years ago or whatever. And now he's a professional wrestler about to sign with NXT. But what is in store for Mr. Green?
I think he is going to do big things. It hasn't been confirmed yet. Let's just put that out there. However, if you do follow Anthony Green on Twitter, he is counting down days simply by tweeting a number, periods, and a look over. And it does coincide with Wednesday. So I think he's really trying to keep it a secret. Like, did he sign for NXT? Shit, I don't know. I haven't heard from him. JP hasn't heard from him. We know this kid for 15 years now. And
the dirt sheets are right a lot more than you want to give them credit for. Not you, like the world. They're right a lot. They really are.
Oh, they are. Absolutely. That's why I don't read them, because it ruins it. It tears wrestling away from me.
It's crack for me. I got to know what's going on. I feel so empowered knowing that when Anthony Green shows up at NXT, I'm not going to go, oh my God, it's Anthony Green. I'm going to go, yeah, I knew he was coming. I'm like, I'm
Listen,
cool.
I'm just going to tell you, Yeti, how much I know about your wrestler. I thought Anthony Green was a football player.
It's okay.
A football player named Antonio Green or Anthony Green. Yeah.
I want you, honestly, my friend, I want you to come in with a mind like that, and I want you to be as cynical and critical as you can be, because I will send you some videos, one of him and Piper, which is really cool. There's also one where he basically calls out what he's going to be doing, how he's going to do it. And if you follow his title reign, that is the stepping stone for any individual that is in the Northeast or the Eastern part of the seaboard to get to NXT. Like
Theory did it right before him, right? Swerve, they all did it.
Yeah, Swerve took a little different because his was more Defy, but still that was a Matt Farmer MLW route. Still, those connections through Matt Farmer and Defy are huge. So Anthony Green through Beyond Wrestling, Limitless Wrestling, Chaotic Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling. He was the only kid to ever be in part of two tags, which is the Elite Eight, and I believe the Young Lions Cup in the same year. So
go Google him when you get home, Vince. You're getting called out here for your lack of wrestling knowledge.
Dude, he's on my wall as family. He's on my wall. I have an autograph. He's on my wall as family.
You have his autograph? Oh my God. I'm gonna ask for an autograph.
He writes like a 2-year-old. Just when you get it, it's like a 2-year-old wrote it.
Listen, I don't want to shit on your wrestler, and people might be calling me out on here, but I'm just gonna say this. If Anthony Green was as good as Yeti says he was, he would have already been signed to a contract.
Mm-mm.
That's not true. You know, there's a lot of politics involved in this bullshit.
Yeah. If you're good, you're good. You're not, you're not. I'm not saying he's not. All I'm saying to you is there is a lot of wrestlers out there.
Sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated. What the fuck happened?
All right, you're crazy. So, problems regarding the organization yesterday. SmackDown's taping. Only one episode was taped, according to Wrestling Observer. They've been filming 2 for the past month, which will lead to delays and ultimate overbooking leading up to SummerSlam in the following weeks. What's going on? Why can't they just do the damn show? You got all week to tape it. How could you? It used to be live every Friday at 8 p.m. in Boise, Idaho, and everything was fine. Now, why can't they get this shit done at the Performance Center?
Can I give you the quick answer?
Yeah. Vince McMahon?
It's because COVID-19 has caused everybody to really look and trim the fat, because when you've lost millions of dollars in live revenue, dude. You look at people that aren't pulling their weight or doing their job, and if they aren't, you get rid of them, and you take care of that through salaries. That's why everybody got let go. So when you talk
Or they
about
can
problems
show
with
positive revenue in Q3.
dude, it starts at the top. Problems at an organization start at the top. So the reason it's not happening is because writers are writing shit. Vince is calling it shit. They're saying, I don't care. There's investors. We're going to run with this shit. No, you're not. So it's a battle, dude. I think it's a constant battle. I really do. And I think that's where we're getting to see the product of that on television every week.
All right, we're past the 1 hour mark. Thank you very much for everyone. I love you guys so much. Promos, Yeti, do your thing. Vince, you want to give your cheap pop? Go check out Vince. He's actually famous now. He's been filming Cooking with Vinny. He did a video with Matt Riddle. You can check that on his Twitter handle. What's your new Twitter handle? He's now Twitter famous.
Vincent LaSpada.
Vincent LaSpada on Twitter, so you guys can go check him out over there. You can follow us on Facebook, World Wrestling Radio, and we have a new group called the Wrestling Civilization that is quite crazy. So please get involved with that. Join over there. Yes, AG is the man. He is family to all of us. He literally was a kid listening to two losers talk about professional wrestling. Those two losers were Nico and Yeti, and we're honored that he actually will debut potentially in NXT in the future. So good for you, buddy. That being said, I just want to. Oh, Yeti, I'm sorry.
You're fine. At 406 Yeti, follow these two. I'm just
Irish Whip. Follow us. Follow everyone. We love you guys. Thank you so much. See you next week.